California police chase nets huge haul of shrooms and marijuana. That's right. The California Highway Patrol officers working the graveyard shift seized nearly $500,000 worth of psychedelic mushrooms and marijuana after an overnight pursuit. According to an Instagram post from the CHP's East LA station, officers attempted to make a traffic stop on a vehicle, but the driver had other ideas. The driver failed to yield, and our officers, along with an airship, aka helicopter, went into pursuit. The Instagram post said, upon the pursuit's termination, officers seized approximately 120 pounds of psychedelic mushrooms and 40 pounds of marijuana, authorities said. An estimated street value of the drugs was nearly $400,000. CHP did not go into detail about where the pursuit was initiated and how long it lasted or where it ended. But I have a question about this cop math, you guys. What is going on with this, and how are they quantifying that this many 120 pounds of psychedelic mushrooms and 40 pounds of cannabis is coming out to $400,000? Can anyone please explain this to me?
All I know is that this is why I sat at Popeyes all night waiting for that fool.
Yeah. Oh, I was like, man.
No.
Oh, but, man, they snagged your shipment.
I don't know. I don't know how they come up with these numbers. Like they're different every time. Mm-hmm. I don't know what scale they use for any of this. I don't know if they just freestyle it.
This is, I mean, 400,000. Okay, so let's just say. Who knows? Oh man, I can't even, like, with the numbers, the 120 pounds and 40 pounds, so that's 160 pounds. This is not correct math, you guys. Not even in this. Like this is even worse than government math.
I mean, I can tell you what they should have cost.
Yeah, I can tell you the real value, but nonetheless, I'll let you guys put it in the chat in the calculator. You guys figure out what you guys think. But man, oh man, high speed chase. What did you think of this wording of the ghetto bird calling it an airship? Are they getting ready for an alien invasion with this press release?
I mean, it's always a justification of the militarization of our domestic law enforcement agencies. And so they have been taking military gear and militarizing the police for decades, including taking surplus military equipment from Iraq and giving them to local police departments. And look, I want every police department to have a SWAT team. In Sonoma County, Henry Chapter 1, they put that helicopter on the chopping block for budget reasons. I was like, are you kidding me? How do you expect to pluck some tourist off a rock at the coast when they underestimated what the tide was going to do? So we do need police and police helicopters for rapid response and to get to hard to reach areas. But the challenge that I have is that more broadly, we have seen a lot of equipment in the hands of local and domestic law enforcement that wasn't initially designed for it. And so when I hear them talk about the airship, what comes up for me is they're probably meeting with their local supervisors next week to talk about next year's budget, and they want to show the effectiveness of having that steel bird in the sky to be able to apprehend the bad guys.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, when I hear airship, I think like of an Apache attack helicopter or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think and I think you're right, Yarrow. I think that is the terminology they use. I don't think that's a coincidence. I think that's by design. And over the last 30 years, I would say our police and law enforcement have been ultra militarized. In Modesto, they have like helicopters and tanks and shit. I'm in the Central Valley. What do you need something that can like crush a house for with a tank? Like,
well, I think they were cheaper than bulldozers, Luke.
They may be, but my point is, it's the look. A bulldozer looks like something you're doing construction on. A tank looks like something you're occupying my neighborhood with.
And I spend more than a little bit of time in construction, project management, et cetera, et cetera. And I know the cost of bulldozers and I know the cost of tractors. And I can absolutely tell you that those tanks are much, much more expensive. And so part of this is that when these departments are bequeathed this equipment, there's some benefits for the agencies that are giving this surplus equipment away. And then it establishes a line item in that budget once you've received that equipment to pay for maintenance and training and all that other stuff. So it's a budget grab. But I'll give you an example. The CIA had developed, I think, and don't fact check me, viewers, but I think the CIA had developed a targeting program called Black Asphalt. And Black Asphalt was subsequently used by the FBI. And then I believe the FBI gave it to the local law enforcement here in Sonoma County. And then they used this Black Asphalt program to profile drivers going up 101, our local freeway, to determine who they should pull over in the hopes that those people might have cannabis contraband so that they could search those people, bust them, arrest them, asset forfeiture them, and keep that pipeline of defendants in our local criminal justice system robust. And it was subsequently ruled that that wasn't the right use of Black Asphalt. But it's just another example of taking these programs or tools that were designed for incredibly important, sensitive military uses and just letting them waterfall down to the local level for the enforcement against just state crimes. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's a slippery slope. We've established a precedent around that for way too long. And this airship, gunship, mothership, whatever the hell they're using it, they didn't say whirlybird helicopter. My kids would never use that term if they saw something flying over. And Luke's right. It's this way in which we as a society here in this country tend to overly adore all things military. And it's great to thank people for their service, and we need a military, but we tend to prey on the altar of sports, military, violence, and a malformed notion around the Second Amendment. And so we don't need motherships, gunships, airships. We need helicopters that can help rescue people off rocks.